I'm Mason Mount. You're listening to the London is Blue podcast.
All right, Chelsea fans, welcome back to yet another episode, another match preview with the London is Blue podcast. So as always, Brandon, Nick feeling quite confident, quite comfortable, clearly. I don't know why. Do you know what we're doing? We're doing the 3 reasons why, where I come up with 3 reasons why Chelsea are going to win against Manchester United in the FA Cup, and you have the daunting task of coming up with 3 reasons why Chelsea will lose against the team coached by a gym teacher, Manchester United.
So, I mean, if you know anything about me, coming up with reasons that we're going to lose, not hard for me. Very in my wheelhouse. Feeling very confident about this one. I've had to be the optimist on the last 2 of these, which has been far more of a challenge. But
felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, but I think someone in our Discord actually called out when I was being positive. I was still incredibly negative about Norwich. So.
All right. Well, that's right, Chelsea fans. What we're doing is we're previewing the Manchester United FA Cup semifinal. We're coming up with 3 reasons from me why Chelsea can win this match, but we also want to give a balanced approach to them. That's where Nick's going to help up with 3 reasons why Chelsea might lose. Again, the whole idea is to take a deeper look instead of just everyone agreeing why Chelsea's the greatest team ever. We have to be realistic, and that's why we do this series. So first off, Nick, my first reason why Chelsea will win, and I'm actually pretty much stealing this from you in our conversations, that it's practically impossible to beat the same team 4 times in a season. They've beat us twice in the league. They beat us, was it League Cup? Here we are, FA Cup. Like, surely we can take one of them. So on a pure statistical probability basis, I'm going with can't happen 4 times.
Yeah, I mean, the probability of it happening 4 times in one season is low. You think back to the FA or the Carabao Cup match, and Rashford hits that wonder strike right after we kind of got back in it. You think back to the second league game where Harry Maguire wasn't sent off for trying to kick Michy Batshuayi's balls off. They've definitely caught some breaks in matching up with us this year. And then obviously the first game of the season, we just, maybe weren't ready for prime time quite yet. But even then, there were chances for us to score. So, yeah, I mean, I'll parry that. I'll parry your positivity away with my negativity. And I flat out think they're in better form than we are, and that's probably not a surprise. I mean, they haven't lost in 18 now. Obviously a couple of convenient draws have helped us stay in 3rd in the league, but really, really difficult to play against right now. Their forwards are buzzing. And I think statistically, while it's going to be hard to, beat Chelsea 4 times in 1 year, our play styles, we basically play into their hands with the way that we play. We play high up the pitch. We play a possession-based attack. And what do they love to do? What does Manchester United do better than anyone in the league for my money? I think, well, maybe along with Liverpool, I think they're both really good counter-attacking teams. They get up the field quickly. They pass the ball into space. And they make a admittedly dodgy defense do a lot of work. And I think their front 3 is going to be a problem for us in this one. Just, trying to be honest about it.
No, I think it would be irresponsible if we didn't admit that and look at it. I mean, it's not a surprise. Thankfully, they dropped points against Southampton, but overall, they've been in really good form. Now, maybe you can say, hey, they're playing pretty bad teams, and that helps, but you still have to go do the business. We barely got over the line against Norwich, so there's that. My second one is that Chelsea as a club are cup specialists. We have an amazing track record in the FA Cup and in all competitions, especially domestically. So with Frank's experience, with his desire to win this, the fact that we've won it quite recently with Antonio Conte, I just think that when it comes to cups, even if Chelsea's season isn't going up to par, Even if things aren't where they should be, for whatever reason, Chelsea have a habit, especially when you get to Wembley, to turn up and do the business. So because of that history and because of that context, I do think that Chelsea, we could very well see a lights out, blistering performance and come back and shit the bed Thursday or whenever we play Liverpool next. Like that's
Wednesday,
just the way this team is kind of set up. So again, experience winning cups matters.
Right. And I mean, you look at the run-ins, right? Like Chelsea clearly had the more difficult route to get to the stage of the tournament. We've had to play Forest at home, Hull away, Liverpool at home, Leicester away, while United did have an admittedly tough match against Wolves to start their campaign, but have since played Tranmere Rovers, that powerhouse, Derby County, sans Frank Lampard, and Norwich, who gave them a run and took them into extra time, but simply are just not a good football team. As I said in our last match preview, they're terrible.
Yeah.
And we struggled with them, which is good. So, yeah, I think for me, I look at Chelsea right now, and I've said this on reviews before, on match reviews. I think we kind of look out of gas and at times out of ideas. You know, because Frank has had to put so much trust in a very small group of players, that comes with a price, right? Those players can't continue every 3 days to crank out 10 out of 10 energy type performances or even 8 out of 10 effort. You know, you're even seeing a guy like Willian look a little sluggish now, and he's a guy who typically gives maximum effort going forward. And so, you know, between Pulisic looking a little leggy, and N'Golo Kante iffy, whether or not he's going to play this one, you know, some kind of key players, it's going to be difficult for Chelsea. And I fear that maybe United are the more fit and focused team right now.
Yeah, I'm just not even going to argue that right now because that is exactly where we're at. We are literally rolling to the end of this season. So, you know, injuries right now, they're not great for Chelsea. They're not as bad as it could be, but
we've had worse this year for sure.
Yeah, but at the same time, this is not the time of the season. We'll have to see. So lastly, and this is kind of a Hail Mary, and I'll admit it, is that on our day, Chelsea can be a really good side who can defend well, who can counterattack well. If we have to pin a team in, we've seen Chelsea do it. So you can't count them out, even though the form would tell you that that is not an option. At the end of the day, Chelsea has played some scintillating football. They've beaten big teams. They put in some big performances. So the fight is still within this team, and it's there. Therefore, I would at least like to point out the fact is that the potential to show up and have a big-time performance is there. Obviously, not all of us feel 100% comfortable with that and wouldn't put money on it, but it's there.
I mean, you missed the most obvious one of all, and that is Frank Lampard loves winning that trophy. I mean, it's in his DNA. He's won it as a player so many times. So I'll do your job for you on that one.
It's a cup specialist thing.
Yeah. My last one, and I think just given what we know of both teams, you know, I look at both defenses, right? Because I think in a cup semifinal, when maybe it's a little bit tense, you know, you're not playing as free flowing as you would in the league because there's only 3 points on the line. You know, semifinals are typically pretty cagey affairs in the first half. You know, neither team's willing to kind of let the game go. You want to go get a late winner and kind of stretch it out as far as possible. I worry about our defense, and while I do not believe that United's defense is as good as it really is, or it's shown after the restart break, I think they are, you know, just playing better than our defense is, right? And so I think it's harder to break them down. They have a better goalkeeper. They have better center backs. You could argue whether, you know, their wing backs are as, you know, are on par with ours or not, but or fullbacks, whatever they play. So I think it's going to be really interesting for Chelsea, right? Do they go with 4 at the back? Do they go with 5 at the back? Do they play Kepa? Do they play Willie? It'll be interesting, and maybe they can talk me out of this terrible fear I have of our defense being terrible. But yeah, I think that's a major weakness and why we might lose the semifinal.
Yeah, I mean, I think someone put in our Discord server today that essentially Chelsea have conceded. Like, we're down there with the likes of Villa, Norwich. I mean, the relegation teams. I
have it pulled up. I mean, we've conceded. Of course, this is Premier League, not FA Cup. We've conceded 49 goals and only had 8 clean sheets. And Manchester United has only conceded 35 goals and have 12 clean sheets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the proof is kind of in the pudding there, right? I mean, you can even look at like goals conceded per match. Manchester United just under 1, and we're about 1.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of edging up a little bit there. Everything from clearances to errors leading to a goal. They have 7 errors leading to a goal. Apparently, we only have 3. How's that possible? I want to know your dubious recording here, but
yeah,
aerial battles and duels won. They're lapping us, man. So
yeah, no, absolutely. This is a tense affair, and I think there's also psychological implications in the top 4 run-up. And I think we talked about this with Leicester when we played them last round, and apparently it's working. Same thing here. The implications of whoever wins this will probably go on to secure 4th because of the confidence that it instills. So it's gonna be a tough one. So I think as most fans are, we are going into this one very apprehensive, quite a bit nervous. But at the end of the day, we are going to do nothing except support Chelsea and Frank Lampard and what they go out and do. We just hope they go out and do what we know they have the potential to do.
I want them to play with passion. I want them to play with fire.
Mm-hmm. Throw in the tackles.
Part of me says, when you say it's hard to beat a team 4 times, it's like, well, then go out and kick them around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Take the fight to them. Don't let them take the fight to you. That's not the way to win a semifinal.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You have to be brave, without a doubt. All right, well, let us know in the comment section what you think are the keys to Chelsea winning or losing, and we will definitely be back with the match review after this one. So until next time, Chelsea fans, you know what to do. Keep the blue flag flying high.